hopefully. Let's make sure you can see what we're doing. We are going to be turning this pile of bits into pendants. We need to solder them together here. Boom. Let's move it down a bit. There you go. Good view of the bench. Right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Robertson Co. Welcome back to London. Another live jewellery making session. Live at 5. I think we're actually on time tonight. Ooh, early. Friday. You can hear from the traffic outside. For some reason, Friday, everyone jumps in their car and go. I don't know where they go, but every other day they're going nowhere. So Friday's gridlock. Right, let's get the YouTube copyright-free music going. Looks like we've got a little bit more new music. Just gets weirder and weirder. Right, this is what we're making. That's what we're making. T-bars out of these component parts. In the previous live stream, I think I made the wire. I don't think I poured the silver. I did pour gold. And I poured some, melted and poured some sterling silver, turned it into wire, turned the wire into this rod. Then turned some wire into these jump rings using our jump ring former, and then we assemble the whole lot into this, which is a T-bar pendant. And we're going to make a couple more, solder a couple more together. Now, I think I did those two in yesterday's live stream. And we flattened out some jump rings as well, ready for this live stream. So yeah, soldering together. I just need to clean the surface up a little bit. With this handmade wire, there's just some weird surface finish on it. Don't know what it is, but it inhibits the solder a little bit. Just take the fine file where we're going to solder. You don't need to do this with bullion dealer wire. I don't know what they treat. I don't know what treatment they do, but I'd love to know because it works. One day they'll release by accident, okay, well not by accident, but, you know, just they'll have some sort of, you know, process video about how they're saving the planet, and in it will be the in the background of them going on about, you know, saving somewhere. They'll show the process. The problem is my bullion dealer still employs humans. So if you phone them up, they won't have a clue. Brummies. If they had AI on the other end of the phone, it'd tell you. It'd bore you to pieces about how they do it, but they don't. Well, not yet. I don't know if ChatGPT can do a Brummy accent. My one can't. It's not an option. Well, it's not. They've got names. The accents have got names. One of them. I listened to them all the other day. AI cannot replace Brummies yet. Yet. We could ask it. We could ask ChatGPT if it can do one. It would be entertaining if it tried. Right, line these up. I'm going to use hard solder. Just it's the best colour match. These joints are pretty visible. They're in the middle of the pendant. And hard solder containing the most silver. It's the closest out of all the solders in colour wise. When they're new, I've said this in previous live streams, freshly soldered you can't tell the difference. Looking at the pieces of solder you can't really tell the difference. Colour wise it's minor. Freshly soldered and polished, they're all invisible. But when they age, the extra easy and easy, I think they just, it's not that they are necessarily a bad colour. They're just a different. They age a different colour. They just tarnish at a different rate. So yeah, if they're left to tarnish, they stand out like the joint stands out like a sore thumb. The only drawback of hard solder is once you've got enough experience to use it and not melt the silver, it's expensive. If you're a beginner, I start out with extra easy. Make life easy and progress to easy, medium and then hard. Especially on small items. This, that's straight. Not too bad. See how it looks when it's cleaned up. Right, next one. Yeah, back to my Brummy bullion dealer. They actually, and how nobody knows anything. They're actually very nice and very helpful. Or as helpful as you can be when you don't know anything. And the reason I discovered, they were way ahead of the curve when it came to having people working from home. Like 10 years ago, they had people working from home, but it was a secret. Like they didn't want anyone to know. It was you'd end up in this really bizarre conversations because you're like, look, I need you to check something for me. Like might be there's a problem with some class, some piece of metal or class. I need you just to measure it or to grab a piece of metal and measure it. And they would do everything they could, like, you end up in this weird conversation because they just have to say, and in the end they'd have to go, you'd be like, what do you mean you can't? Like, can you put me through to someone who can just go and look at this thing and measure it or check a colour or to check your stock? And they'd be going round and round and round in circles, like telling you all these nonsense reasons why they couldn't physically pick this thing up and look at it. And someone in the end actually just admitted and said, look, I'm not actually there. I'm at home. So what? And it was before working from home was the thing. So literally all they could do was take an order or take a number and get someone to call you back because they were sat, in their pyjamas, nowhere near the actual stock. They'd never seen the stock. They'd seen a picture of it on the website, but they'd never actually seen or handled the thing. So, yeah, there are pros and cons to working from home. I think if you're dealing with physical products, it's not ideal. Solder really hasn't flown on one side. It's almost like a surface tension with this handmade wire. I'm just going to try and coax the solder around with a solder probe. To be honest, I never really understood or saw the point in solder probes until I started using handmade wire. When I was using Bunning dealer wire, you could just use you don't really need them. You can just use the heat to sort of manipulate it. You can actually use the heat to move the solder. With handmade wire, It's almost like a surface tension. It's a bizarre thing. It's like a surface tension on there, and the solder's almost like it's like the wires. You know, it's like opposite poles of a magnet. The solder and the metal. It's bizarre. It's a really bizarre thing. But the solder, using a solder pick or solder probe, just seems enough to break the surface tension and get the solder to flow as it would on bullion dealer bought wire. Again, like if you're just starting out, do not make wire, buy it. Fuck, do not. It's going to be so much easier. Like what? Like learning to solder with handmade with this kind of wire, like soldering with bullion dealer bought wire is so much easier. Well, it's not necessarily easier. You get better. Without practice and experience, you get better results. You have to really finesse the solder into position. That still needs a lot of pickle. You can see we've got a load of flux on there. But that joint, the joints might probably need cleaning up, and then they may need redoing with these. With a lot of these, I end up cleaning up the joint, and then once I've taken a look at it, I'd say half of these at the moment. With the bullet, if this were bullion dealer bought wire, I reckon 1 in 10 I'd end up sort of cleaning up the joint and thinking, right, I need to really reflow the solder, whether it's pulled to what, you know, whether the heat's pulled it to one side, or there might be a spot of porosity. I reckon with this handmade wire, I'm doing more than half. I'm redoing. So what I'm saving, although no, actually, I'm saying what you're saving financially, because grain is, I mean, what bullion's at an all-time high as while I'm filming this. What you save quite a bit, I reckon. What is I reckon bullion's probably per kilo at the time of me filming this. Silver must be about 8 grains, probably 700-800 quid a kilo. Wire's over 1,000, probably close to 1,200 quid. But that's how they make their spread. So there is a saving, but you're saving in metal, but you're losing in labour. I have to do it twice. So you know, the bullion dealers are charging a premium for wire, but it is whatever finish whatever processes it goes through. It has, I hate to say it, but it has a surface finish on it that's easier to solder than the handmade stuff that I can make right now. But I did say yesterday I saw someone putting peroxide in the pickle to clean metal, and I'm going to try that. I've tried everything. Like the pickle itself doesn't change that sort of surface tension that you're getting on the handmade wire. It doesn't remove it. I don't know what, it's not silver oxide. Well, it might be silver oxide, but I always thought silver oxide was black, but maybe you can get, it's almost like it's been anodized. It's bizarre. I'll get to the bottom of it one day. But the solder pick helps. The solder pick definitely helps. Right, I'll see you in the next one. Toodles.